of the people. Sahara cover my seas. Sahara.
Sahara TV, good to be with you once again. As the date draws closer for the crucial Nigerian election, the debate continues to heat up. The debate about which of the dozen or so candidates would best serve the interests of the Nigerian people for the next 4 years. But beyond that, issues about security, corruption, and a retarded pace of development, etc., are also on the itinerary for a lot of Nigerians and indeed Africans. We have invited Sheikh Ahmad Gumi to give us an informed perspective away from all the campaign choruses from the different political parties. Sheikh Gumi, as many of you know, is a respected Islamic cleric, a retired military officer, and a medical doctor by training. Sheikh has been very vocal on the Nigerian political landscape. I have no doubt at all that he will repeat on this program. Sheikh, welcome to Sahara TV and Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. It's a pleasure for me.
Okay, Sheikh. Let's start this interview by jumping straight into it, if you will. You were in the news recently for saying that the two top horses, if I may call them so, in the race for the Nigerian presidency have no business running for the presidency at all. You think that President Goodluck Jonathan and General Buhari should not run in this election. Isn't that too much to ask, Sheikh?
It's not too much to ask if you have the interest of millions and millions of Nigerians. It's not too much to sacrifice for a nation like Nigeria. And I wanted them to take a moral decision, the two of them, to relinquish this ambition they have, for other people to carry on so that Nigeria will heal from the injuries which has afflicted the nation.
What was the point, though? What were you saying? Why were you calling for them not to compete?
It's just enough that 2011, more than 1,000 souls were lost because of this daily political game. More than 1,000 people were killed innocently in cold blood because of the politics. So I felt morally, Nigeria needs to heal, to get a different set of people, different people without baggage. And I wanted the parties, the two parties, to take that moral decision, to convince the candidates to step down for people who will be acceptable across the nation.
Okay, Sheikh. Okay, now you've said in the past, let me quote something that I read from you a while ago. With intimidation, I'm quoting now, with intimidation from both sides, it shows that a truly 100% free and fair election will be an illusion. Yes. You sound quite grim. Have you given up even before the ballot is cast, Sheikh?
No, you see, I'm actually not looking for a perfect 100% election. I'm not looking for it. And why I'm saying that is that no Nigerian should look for a 100% perfect election. Since nobody accepted our advice, all the contestants have put their desires, then we have to be patient with whatever the outcome of the election will be. To be patient with it is better than to start fighting each other over something, expecting perfection from an imperfect system is self-foolishness. So let's accept whatever comes out from this, and let's not take laws into our hands and engage in any violence.
So, Sheikh, is 60, 70, or 80% good enough? What percentage would be good enough? Because obviously, from what you're saying, there's no way we're going to get 100%. What percentage would you say would be good enough for both opposition and incumbent?
I know what I'm saying. We have no option. We have no option but to accept what the INF will bring out, even if it requires, in the end, if it is too bad, to form a unity government. What we need is peace. We don't need bloodshed.
Okay. All right, I get that point.
None of the sides is worth blood of one single Nigerian, I'm telling you.
Okay, I get that point clearly. So now you also criticize the choice of a pastor for a vice presidential running mate for the APC. Your point is that it's going to start a precedent where men of God will be tainted. Can you explain this to us, please?
Okay, you see, we try to keep this politics away from religious struggle. So hard because any religious struggle over political positions now in the contemporary Nigeria will not be healthy for the nation. We try to avoid religion coming directly into the issue. So now when you have a party bringing in the clergy, the Christian clergy, into the core of the political arena, it's just a short time Muslims too will feel they will put in their scholars there.
Would there be something wrong with that, Sheikh? Would that be a problem if, say, a Sheikh, for instance, decided to run for political office?
Not even the Christians are united. If you have a pastor from a church, then another pastor from another church wants to be there too. So you bring in dirty sectarian and inter-religious crisis into politics, which is already inflamed. There's absolutely no need, no reason for that. What I'm talking about is we need to heal Nigeria. We have children. We want to bequeath Nigeria too. So now if you start bringing and changing the dynamics of politics in Nigeria, I don't think we are heading to heal Nigerians.
Okay. All right. Now, let me quote something else that you've said. You said a president that's acceptable both in the North and South, also acceptable to both Christians and Muslims, vibrant, intelligent, and focused on what is good for all. A president that has no criminal record and is honest and incorruptible. First of all, do any of the candidates fit this bill at all, and who would you say best fits the bill?
I think that question should be left to Nigerians to answer it, really. Because what I wanted is somebody new completely, somebody who has no precedence, somebody who has no history. Such a person will heal Nigerians. But if you take anybody with baggage, with some precedence, what happens is he will stir reactions from the other section of Nigerians that don't like him. And Nigeria, in the period we are passing through, we truly need somebody to calm the polity, somebody that will not bring or stir anything that will heat up the polity.
Okay. All right. Yes. Now, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So this is what we need, Nigeria, somebody new. We put on a new page. But if you say you want to recycle and bring about the same people who have been in the arena before, then there's going to be reactions and counter-reactions.
Okay, Sheikh. Now, let's talk about something that it will be almost impossible to talk about in an interview like this, Boko Haram. Just a few days ago, there was this senseless slaughtering of over 2,000 people. As an Islamic cleric, Sheikh, you definitely know more about the dynamics of what this is all about than most of us do, than the average person does. What is going on with Nigeria and Boko Haram? Why are Nigerians not reacting the way the world wants them to react? What's the ECOWAS, for instance, doing?
Okay, you see, really, this issue of Boko Haram and the insurgency may be really very difficult for somebody living outside Nigeria to understand. Why can the Nigerian military tackle this issue? It's a complex issue which involves the political situation we are, the time, and the unfortunate situation whereby we have a system which, if I can say, since the 1966 coup, every government that comes is preoccupied by the issue of legitimacy. It's trying to prove to Nigerians it's the real government. So they forget about development. The Nigerian Armed Forces was left for time immemorial without equipment. I could remember even when I was in the army myself, when the infantry divisions were converted to mechanized infantry division, when I was in a course in the Jaji cantonment, some of the lecturers were saying, not a single division which is mechanized has more than 3 APCs. APCs means armored personnel carriers. So it means a division has no more than just one company of armored cars, and yet we call them divisions. So this is what is happening in Nigeria. Nothing works. If you go to the hospitals, nothing is there. It's not because of the government itself, it's because of the Nigerians themselves. Look, I'm dealing with Nigerians now on the street. Laborers, workers, you hardly get somebody who's honest that will do things for you honestly. So even if you're in government or a minister or a president or a governor, you may spend money, but nobody will do the right thing. And this goes back to our upbringing.
Sheikh,
really, yes.
Just a few days ago, we also heard, actually not too long ago, there was this Nigerian soldier being interviewed on an international platform, and he was talking about using his own money to buy uniforms, using his own money to feed himself, using his own money to get medical assistance and stuff like that.
Yes.
How has this changed since you were in the army?
It has changed because it was not as bad as when I was in the army. But even when I was in the army, things were not really very good. You cannot say the army is well equipped. You cannot say that. So it's a gradual decay in every sector, in education, in health, in even the, what you call it, the social behavior of people. You know, a decay in Nigeria, which every sector, every part of the society is involved in it. And what we need is actually a gradual, slow revert. If we say we want to force it, then it's going to fire back. No change can come so sudden in such a decadent society. It has to be slowly. What is paramount now is we should have peace. If there is peace in the nation, then we will start to heal and recover from what we have lost. But if there is turmoil, or agitations or some radical approach to the problems in Nigeria is going to backfire, and it may plunge the nation into what God knows, what Syria is experiencing, or Libya, or what you call it, Somalia, or the other countries in which people thought their obstacles were the dictators. But when they remove the dictators, they don't know that the system is not able to hold together because of different interest groups. That's this is exactly what's happening in Nigeria.
Very interesting observation. Sheikh,
yes,
talking of peace, speaking of peace then, and as a former military officer, what would you prescribe as a one-stop solution to Boko Haram?
Boko Haram problem is actually a problem of first the northern region, and particularly the Muslims. Then secondly, the government and the armed forces. Why? Who is the person killing the people? Are they not the Kanuris, the Fulanis, and the Hausas? They are the ones who are Boko Harams. So it's first and foremost, primarily a northern Muslim problem. Why some of us are taking up arms to kill others, to kill themselves first and kill others. So we have to address that. We have to look into that. Your time cannot give me enough chance to explain to you.
Go into all of that, I understand.
Yes, why? Secondly, the government itself initially thought it's a northern problem. Leave them, let them kill themselves. It doesn't affect us. And even the world too, is lukewarm to the issue, thinking it's a local problem. I just recently read the Americans saying Boko Haram doesn't directly threaten American interest. This is what they are saying. So they allow the things to increase and to metastasize in what is happening now. So we, the Muslims in the north, have to really squarely sit down and see how to tackle this issue.
Okay.
Supported by the government, and the government supported by the international community.
Especially ECOWAS.
If there is coordination between these three stages, I'm telling you, Boko Haram will come to an end.
Thank you so much, Sheikh. Our time is up, but before we go, can I quickly ask you this last question? It's a somewhat unrelated question, though. Pope Francis yesterday condemned the Charlie Hebdo killing, what has become known as the Charlie Hebdo killing, but also stated categorically that it is unacceptable to make mockery of another person's religion. As an Islamic cleric, what's your standpoint on this matter?
Okay, yes, you see, Muslims, we follow the Quran, which is the message, then the traditions of the Prophet ﷺ himself, then the interpretation of the scholars. The Quran is categoric that Muslims should be patient whenever they hear bad things, abuse from the other people. That we should be patient, we should fear God more, and that will be the solutions to the abuse. The Quran never says we should take arms and kill, or in fact, Muslim is trying to call other people into his own religion. So when you take arms or resort to violence, then you are repelling people. In fact, the Prophet is quoted as saying, leniency beautifies everything, and violence tarnishes anything. No matter if you have a good cause and you resort to violence, it is going to tarnish it. And the Prophet himself is quoted as saying he has never taken revenge for himself, except if it is a law of God which is broken, in which case he will take, he will look for the solution. But because you abuse him or you do anything to him, he never takes revenge. So a prophet who doesn't take revenge for himself, if you think you will kill people who don't even believe in him just because they abused him, I think you are not doing justice to the prophet himself. Because the essence of religion is to call people to the straight light. It's not to punish people for the idiotic things they do.
Okay. What about the other side, though? You know, condemning people's faiths and stuff like that. What do you have to say about that, Sheikh? Yes,
this is, I think, mischievous in the sense that when you hide behind freedom of speech to molest or to just make jest of people's, what people took in high reverence, and at the same time, people will see your, what do you call it, double standards. When you don't accept maybe anything said against the Jews or the Israeli state, despite the fact that Bible is full of, when Jesus came, the disbelieving Jews, Jesus was rebuking them and almost, you know, saying words like, you generation of vipers and other things, is there in the Bible. Because of their iniquities, if you say anything against the Jews today in France, then you'll be castigated and anti-Semitic. So it means they know that abusing people is not good. So why wouldn't they encompass and apply it to other religions?
To everybody else. That's
yes, to everybody
a very
else.
fair call indeed, Sheikh
yes,
Ahmad
it's
Gumi.
time for them to start doing that.
Thank you so much, Sheikh Ahmad Gumi. We really appreciate your time and your insight on Sahara TV. Viewers, Sheikh Ahmad Gumi. We'll be back.